and welcome to the Colleen Cape Dress Sew Along. Today I am going to show you how to attach a knit neckband. This tutorial is specific for the Colleen Cape dress. However, you will find it helpful with any knit pattern that has a neckband. So here is our neckline here. You may find it slightly difficult to see, but I did clip my center back and center front notches. And the next thing I want to do is fold the neckband. This neckband in particular does not have shoulder seams, which I don't always necessarily like to use those as a reference anyways, because shoulder seams are not always at the halfway point between the center back and the center front. And what we want to do is find that halfway point so the neckband attaches evenly all the way around the neck. So I am folding this neckline in half to meet those center front and center back notches. And then I'm just going to come over here and make another notch on one side and on the other side. And this divides my neckband, my neckline, into 4 equal sections. And now we want to go and do the same thing with our actual neckband. So I am going to use the seam. I've already stitched my short ends of my neckband together. So I'm going to use this seam as one of my markers. So just folding it in half with a seam on one end. I'm going to clip, and I'm going to go ahead and clip both sides. And I'm going to be constructing this on the serger. This pattern has a 3/8 inch seam allowance, so I don't want to make my notches too deep. And then I'm going to open up that neckband, line up those notches I just made with my serged seam, and flatten that out, and then I'm going to clip again at the fold. We'll do both sides. So now I have a neckband that's divided into 4 equal pieces and a neckline, a neck hole that is divided into 4 equal pieces. So now it is time to attach the neckband. If you feel more comfortable, you can go ahead and pin this in place. I like to do it without pins. I don't find it difficult to do without pins, but it might be easier for you to go ahead and match notch for notch on the neckline and the neckband and just stick a pin. And I would, if you are going to pin, I would only pin in the crucial areas, because there is a bit of like working around that has to happen. The neckband piece should be slightly smaller than your neckline, so there will be some stretching, and if you pin it too much, you might not pin it with the ease evened out. So I like to put my serged seam on one of the side notches. You could also line it up with the back. I would just make sure to not put it in the front. And if you have a printed fabric like this, it's a good time to decide which side you want to be visible. And since this stripe is so busy, I think I'm going to do the more solid side as the visible side. So I'm going to put that side face down onto my dress. Another important thing as you stitch, this is going to be connected all the way around in a circle. So we don't want to start stitching with our neckband up here while our dress body is down here. We want everything to be on the same side. So I'm going to stick my neckband under there, and I am going to make sure you can see. And I know it seems daunting not to be pinning this ahead of time, but I am going to first line up my stitched seam with the side neckband notch. Let me just make sure that that's actually the side. Yes. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and position that under my presser foot, ready to stitch. And I'm going to give it a little stitch just to make sure I'm caught under there. Now before I continue stitching, I'm going to make sure this neckband is folded. You want the edges of the neckband to meet. And then I'm going to find my next notch here on the neckband, and I'm going to find my next notch on the neckline. And I am going to hold those two together, and you're going to need to stretch the neckline slightly, and I'm going to stitch from one notch to the next. Once I get to where that next notch is touching my presser foot, I'm going to line up the next two notches. So again, finding the notch on my neckband and finding it on my neckline, matching those up, stretching it taut. You don't want to pull, you just want to stretch slightly until everything is laying flat and there's no ease visible. There's no ripples or anything. And I'm going to again serge, make sure all the raw edges are lined up of both sides of your neckband and your neckline. Make sure the notches stay matched up. I'm going to serge till my notches are under my presser foot, and then I'm going to pull under, straighten everything back out, find my next two notches, neckband notch, neckline notch, match those up, make sure all my raw edges are lined up, and serge. Let's see, my fold is coming out. You can also fold your neckband and pre-press it if that helps as well, but I would just be careful not to stretch it as you're pressing it. So now we're coming along to where we started, which is awesome because we're done lining up notches, and now we just want to make sure all the raw edges are lined up, and we're going to serge it. Okay. Let's see if it is done correctly, when you turn it right side out, it should look like this, where the neckband naturally curves in. You shouldn't see any ripples along the neckline here. It shouldn't be like look puckered or gathered in any way. And your neckband should be pointing in towards the neck in line with the shoulder seam here. See how this is one continuous line? You don't want your neckband to be wanting to flip outwards or anything like that. If you are having any issues like that with your neckband, then it is either too small if you're getting puckers, or if it looks stretched out, then it is too big. Now is a good time to give your neckband a good press. And if you want, you can stitch down, top stitch or edge stitch. Be sure to use a stretch stitch, like a narrow zigzag, a 3-step zigzag, or if you have a cover stitch, you can edge stitch along this line to catch this seam allowance here so it stays nice and flat. I personally like the look of just the plain neckband without the top stitching, and I feel like once you press it, it's generally, as you can see, I haven't pressed this at all, and this seam allowance wants to lay flat down inside the garment. So if the neckband is the correct size for the neckline, it should lay nicely without the top stitching. But if that's just a style that you like, or if your neckband got a little stretched out and wants to pull, feel free to add the top stitching. And you can use this tutorial for the Colleen cape dress, of course. It is also helpful for any knit top, t-shirt pattern that has this style of neckband. Don't forget to give it a press. It's also a good time to add a little tag if you have a tag. And I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Be sure to ask me any questions you may have in the comments below, and check out the channel and subscribe for more tutorials, and follow along with the sew along if you are making the Colleen cape dress. Thanks so much for joining me, and happy sewing. Bye.